Okay, it's that time. Tennis, the sports science approach by me, Matthew Rodney. Listen, oh my gosh, it's like he's got airtime. What is going on? Right, tennis, the sports science approach. So every day I read a page from a book. So let's have a look through. Oh, I've put here discussion points. Look, discussion points. So, and then I've obviously left some pages there for you to make notes, create your own. Right, so let's have a read of these discussion points then. Oh, let's have it there. The problem with the problem. Remember, this was written before the Billie Jean Cup, by the way. So don't say, oh, well, look, we got to the semi-finals of the Billie Jean Cup. The problems with British women's tennis. It's a closed loop. Remember, these are these are discussion points. So I'm not making a statement about these. These are what I am saying are available to discuss. The players chosen at 8 to 10 are still the same players approx at 16. Means there's not a great deal of massive improvement. I'm not sure about that. I could discuss, because I do think there's improvement, massive improvement. But that's another part to discuss. This is totally by design. False economy. The coaching pool is too shallow, which I think is massively true. Jobs for mates. You know, is it really an open market for the best coaches in the UK? Or is it just, oh, my mate does this, let's bring my mate through? Yep, which I think is more the case. Girls in the programme should be wanting to go pro, not jump or pathway into a scholarship when tennis gets tough. You know, you can't take away someone's wanting to get educated. So if tennis brings you to a fabulous scholarship, then amazing. However, for me, you know, there were girls who are fantastically talented, who definitely could have gone pro, but because they always sat on the fence and never really tried to go pro, the lure of getting a scholarship becomes more and more closer as you get older and as you put less effort into being pro. It's like seen as not being cool to go pro. Funding should be means tested. Millionaires are getting tennis funding. There's no way that the governing body can say that isn't happening or has happened. There's people who are multi-millionaires who have got funding from the LTA when there are people who just as much wanted to become tennis pros but were not given any funding or enough funding. So, but then there are people who had no money at all who were given funding. But I think that if you're a multi-millionaire, you shouldn't be getting any funding. But you know, it makes sense. If you got money, yeah, you're better at convincing people to give them their money. So that's the cycle is broken. The rich can afford more tournaments, more points, higher rankings earlier. Talent scouts are lazy. What do they do when looking to choose players? They look for the most easiest stats, rankings, ratings. Can discuss. That's why it's called discussion points. These are my points. That's why it's called discussion points. Okay. Hierarchy is artificially created. This is UK girls tennis problem. Discuss. The picture in its entirety. So what is the picture? Is it been painted out? Don't know. There is no structure. I don't think there is. The national governing body is competing against the girls in the UK who are not on the programme, creating distance. That shouldn't be the case. The national governing body should be competing against girls across the world. Think about it. We've just lost to Slovakia. Slovakia. Not Russia, not USA, Slovakia. So, are you telling me a country of, 3-4 million people can produce better tennis players? The fact is it can, because tennis is individual. So, you know, I mean, it was tight, don't get me wrong, but in theory, the amount that we invest in tennis in the UK, we should be able to produce a team of players that can beat Slovakia. Get off, man. Last couple. Whereas I believe the tennis governing body should be helping any girl who wants to go pro, full stop. If you want to go pro, the national governing body should be there to help you. So all these girls can hit forehands, backhand serves. All of them. So why is it that only the few, chosen by the few, get the funding? So you get a girl who, you know, who say, oh yeah, well, you know, I might go for a scholarship, I might go pro, I'm not sure. But then you got a girl who really wants to go pro, but doesn't get the funding. How does that make sense? Yeah, make sense of that. That's why it's a discussion point. First question, out of all of these girls, how many actually want to go pro? You know, all the girls in this program, how much you want to go pro? Yeah, I want to go pro. Right, you're going to work 25 hours a week on court and then another 6 hours a week in the gym. Oh, well, you know, it's a false economy. How many players are just along for the ride, see how it goes, then will get a great scholarship? Yeah, they're there for the ride. Of course they are. What else are you going to do? What's better than just playing tennis? Nothing. So then do that for a bit and then get a scholarship. Great. Here we go. Going for a scholarship is not the same in terms of demands as playing pro. The two goals should not be linked. They are separate despite what influencers or people driven by agenda tell you. It's not a tough enough environment. Heather Watson said this in a press conference. Then she didn't see enough hard work. Why is Heather Watson saying that? I'd love to speak to Heather Watson about that. I'd love to. The environment is far too nice. You all right, mate? Yeah, firms. It's too nice. No, that's why I loved it when Emma Raducanu. The people were saying, "Oh, she's got an attitude and this, that, and the other." Yeah, no, she wants to win. She wants to be the best she can be. That's why she's the best. That's why she's won a Grand Slam. There does not seem to be any promotion or relegation. The national governing body has created a super league where you have to be rich and successful to get in unless chosen by the few for the few. Chosen by the few for the few. The national governing body needs to remember they are competing against the rest of the world, not the girls, players who are not in the programme. Listen, it's all in here. If you want to go pro, it's all in here. The mindset, the mental toughness, it's all in here. Listen, it's available now. DM me for details. You know, that's it. Get this book, start working through it, and I guarantee you do this book for a year, you'll be on the pathway, proper pathway, not this lovely unicorn, flowery, rainbow, follow the yellow brick road one. Like and subscribe. See you later. Bye.